a new episode of Out and About in Bahrain. Every episode will be taking you on a tour to explore new places in this beautiful kingdom. Get ready for some fun and interesting information. We just arrived here at Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club, bringing to the forefront the best horses and trainers and giving the opportunity to racing enthusiasts to participate in one of the best international racing events in the region. We have with us here Mr. Neil, Facilities Manager at Rashid Equestrian and Horse Racing Club. He's going to show us around, and right now this is our starting point. Where are we standing now?
So we are here right where it all happens before the races, in the saddling box area over there and sampling unit here. So these areas is where the horses come before their race to get prepared, get the saddle on, pick up the saddle from the jockeys. Over in the grandstand comes, the trainer puts the saddle on, horse will go to the sampling unit to get tested. All about the integrity of the horse racing and that everything's fair and integrity is all important, tested, and then off down to the paddock just before he goes out for his race.
Okay, that's great. And that's actually what we can see happening here. Those horses are getting ready to get tested right now.
Yeah, so as well, another thing that happens, all the horses must be identified. You must check that it's the right horse that's going to race on the day. So that's another thing that happens. Go in with their test and then, as I say, get saddled and then down to the paddock.
Okay, that's great. So what's next?
So after this, we'll head down to the parade ring, or paddock as it's often called, where you will see the horses parading prior to their race, and the trainer and the owners and the jockey meets. They'll have their little chat beforehand, what they're going to do, what do you think this one's going to do, etc., etc. Then the jockey will get on board and then off down to the start.
Okay, that's great. Let's go.
Okay.
So, where have we arrived now? We are at the...
We're in the paddock, or parade ring, often called one of the two.
Okay.
This is where the horses come as from the area where we've just been, and again, they'll do their final walk rounds. Trainer and owners, jockey all meet, and horse jockey then gets on the horse and goes out ready for his race. Also, we have in here the winner's enclosure, where the winning horse comes into the horseshoe after the race.
Okay, here, interesting.
Yeah, and the placed horses come into here as well.
I've noticed that you have more than one track, I guess 3 tracks?
Yeah, we do. We have 2 grass tracks, which are the race tracks for racing, and then in the middle there, the 3rd track is the sand track, which is a training track. So that's in use daily, morning and afternoon, for the 300 or so horses that we have here. That's where they get ready and train for their races.
And I think you're going to be using the bigger one today, right?
We're on the outside track today. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay. What else can we see here?
Yeah, well, there's obviously the main grandstand up above us. So where everybody views from, what I call the integrity tower up above, where the judge and the photo finish. So if we can see over to the finishing line there, and you see the mirror. So that's very important. If you have 2 horses close together, you can then get the photo finish to determine which one is perhaps that little nose in front. So that happens from there. In behind us is the jockey's changing room and the weighing room.
Can we take a look at it?
Yeah, we can go and have a little look in there.
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll do that. Yeah, why not?
So this is the weighing room.
Yeah, the weighing room. This is where it all happens. Certainly, what happens for the jockeys both before and after the races. So each horse has an allotted weight that he or she must carry. So this is the platform that the jockey stands on with his saddle, or his or her saddle, and their equipment to make sure that they have the correct weight. It's very important that the horse is carrying the correct weight and not less or more, because again, that's all to do with the race conditions and to do with the integrity of the race.
So where are we standing now?
So we're now standing in the grandstand. We're actually in the owners and trainers and sponsors and VIP section of the grandstand, overlooking the finishing line here, obviously. So behind us, owners and trainers. So they're all watching nervously, watching their horses.
Yes, of course, yes.
Horses participate, and obviously in better times when we haven't got the pandemic, we'd have a lot more guests here. And,
yes.
And
we have to take the precautions, yes.
We're obviously doing everything we can there at the moment, but yeah, this would be normally full of people getting excited, watching the races, generating a great atmosphere. There's a really, really good atmosphere when everybody can be here, and let's hope that spectators and everything gets back to normal before too long, because racing, like all sports, is missing those crowds.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
They put life into it.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
what's the normal capacity for the place?
Yeah, so it'll seat about 3,000 seated.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And obviously plenty of room down below standing as well. So when we had the first international Bahrain International Trophy in 2019, the place was packed. It was jam-packed, and it was literally rocking. It was amazing atmosphere. It was fantastic.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay, hopefully we're going to see those people back here soon. And I see the view from here is great. You can see the horses getting prepared, and this is the way you see the race.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So it's a nice view. Obviously, further up you go, and the further back behind you can see, and you can see over towards Awali over there, and the mosque in the background. It's a lovely skyline, I think. With the water we have, we see the flamingos. Most importantly, you have a great view of the racing.
Of course, yes, lovely indeed. And yeah, now I can see the horseshoe you were talking about.
Yes.
The one for the first place winner.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
now it's very clear.
Yeah. The hallowed winners enclosure. That's what everyone's doing it for.
Yes, that's the goal. Yes, being here.
To get in there and get their photograph in there.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So right now we reach here the inner track. We are actually standing in the middle of the inner track. So please give us more info about the tracks.
Sure. So as you said, rightly say, we have quite simple inner, outer over there. 2 grass tracks, over 600 sprinklers to look after them. So there's a lot of water, a lot of irrigation, and a lot of effort to to look after them, especially in this climate. Turf racing is depends on your point of view, but certainly turf racing I think is the best form. There's different surfaces, but I think horses like to run on natural turf more than anything else. So we have essentially 2 types of grass on this. There's a summer grass, which is the bait grass, which stays all year round, but during these cooler winter months it actually goes dormant, and so we overseed it with the ryegrass, and this is what you can see. The sward of winter ryegrass, and that hopefully gives a nice surface for the horses to race on.
Okay, that's great. I think they're announcing now that they're going to start, so maybe we should get running, right?
Get ready for the next, get out of the way and wait for the next ones to come out.
And now that's a very exciting moment. As you see, those horses are getting ready for the race after being weighed in the room inside. And now we're honored to have with us Sheikh Salman bin Rashid. He's going to tell us the story of Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club. And he's going to tell us how this idea evolved, since it was just an idea.
Yes, first of all, thank you for having me on your program. And of course, Rashid Equestrian Horse Racing Club has been hosting racing since 1980. So we've been racing for 40 years. And we've been one of the first racing jurisdictions in the region. We've been always hosting very competitive races. And in the last 5 years, the race club developed in a very vast manner. We hosted our first international race 2019. It was a very successful race. We hosted our second race 2020. Of course, it grew from 2019. And there's a lot of development on the premises where we're investing into new stabling. We have new facilities that are coming up, like a horse a pool and equine facilities. Okay. We've just finished from a horse racing jockey school, which is hopefully going to start on the 1st of March. So it's exciting times for us, and we're hopefully do everything we can to develop horse racing in Bahrain.
We have with us here Mr. George Baker from the UK. Please tell me, what are you doing in Bahrain?
We are here because we're very excited with the prospect of having a satellite yard here in Bahrain. We've got a yard back in the UK, 50, 60 horses, but we were approached in the middle of last summer to come over and here and explore the opportunity of having a yard here. We're incredibly excited by this place, by the passion, by the commitment, by the ambition, and this is clearly a burgeoning racing jurisdiction, and for us to have an opportunity to be part of that at the outset is very exciting, and we look forward to making it happen. There are going to be several hurdles along the way, I'm sure. These things are not meant to be easy, and we're coming into it with our eyes wide open. And talking to Alan Smith earlier, I know that the racing here is of a very competitive nature, which is fantastic. But listen, if we can be a small part of it for the years to come, very exciting.
Yeah, let's hope everything is going to go smoothly, and we'll be optimistic. Okay, so what do you think about the races here? What do you think about the club?
It's fantastic. I mean, it really is. We as I said, we've just been so impressed by the ambition and the fact that everybody here is so excited about the future of the sport here, and watching from afar the two runnings of the international trophy have attracted stellar fields from and if trainers of that repute globally are sending their horses here, it tells me everything. And Neil Mackenzie Ross, I knew when he was clerk of the course back in England and the UK, and Lingfield, and everything he's doing for the racing surface here, and all the other facilities that are improving almost by the day. It's we're here at the beginning, I feel, of something that could be huge, and for us it's a permanent commitment, and and it's a little bit daunting, setting up a business in a foreign country, but at the same time, it's a fantastic opportunity.
Well, this makes me curious. I want to ask you, how do you see it here when you compare it to the UK?
Listen, it's different in many ways, but similar in so many others. We're all deeply competitive. We want to win horse races, and that's what we will be doing out here on this wonderful track. So yes, a day at the races is a magical event wherever it is in the world. Right now in England, I have a runner this afternoon in Lingfield, and it will be horizontal sleet and snow. So it's rather lovely to be here in this lovely climate. So racing globally is a magical sport, as we all know. That's why we're here, and and there are many differences here. There'll be a sort of different way of training for us, training on the racetrack as opposed to having our own private gallops at home. But we will react, and we will adapt, and we will listen to the advice. There are some very good trainers here, superb trainers here, some superb horsemen, and I will be around them like a sponge, trying to pick up all the information I possibly can.
Thank you so much for being with us here today, and we enjoyed our conversation. And welcome to Bahrain.
You are very kind, my great pleasure, and look forward to seeing plenty of you in the future, I hope.
Yes, we too. This brings us to the end of our tour here at Fawcett Equestrian Horse Racing Club. Our journey doesn't stop here. See you next episode with new adventures, places to be explored and fun activities together in Out and About in Bahrain.